Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to make these super cute little Halloween decorations. Everything came from the Dollar Tree. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you turn on that notifications bell so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Let's get started. These are the items that you are going to need. Everything for the most part came from the Dollar Tree. I picked up 2 of these large foam boards, one in white and one in black. Then I did find this burlap ribbon. I was searching and searching for this. I know my Dollar Tree had it before. I've seen it many times, but for some reason they must have just been sold out, or they hadn't gotten it in yet for fall. So I did finally find it. This one is a 2-yard spool. I grabbed 4 of them. Not sure how much I will need, but I wanted to make sure it was the burlap ribbon that did not have the wire edging. These came from Dollar Tree as well, and I thought these would be perfect to make this foam board look a little bit like distressed wood, because that's kind of the look I'm going for these pieces. These are a furniture scratch marker, and they come in 3 different colors for $1 at Dollar Tree. I picked up 2 packets of the LED tea light candles. Now these are going to illuminate the inside of each one of these little boxes that we're going to do. I also have some of this acrylic paint. This is the acrylic paint that comes from the Dollar Tree. I wanted white, black, and yellow. Now I know Dollar Tree does have yellow, but I also already have a yellow paint in my collection, so I figured I'd use this one up first. But if you don't have it, Dollar Tree definitely carries this Jot brand in yellow. A few random things that I have on hand that we're going to need for this project. Modpodge. I have some clear tacky glue. I have a tape measure. I have a little razor knife, which these come from the Dollar Tree as well. Whenever I see these, I kind of pick them up because these are great for craft projects. Pencil, a paintbrush, a little foam brush, and hot glue and scissors. So let's get started with this little fun Halloween project. So we are going to start with our white foam board, and we're going to start with the white figure first. The hardest part about this project is probably going to be measuring out the frame or the box that we're going to use for this ghost. So the first thing I did is I figured out that I wanted the width of each ghost to be 9 inches wide. I want the height of my ghost to be 14 inches. Now the depth of the ghost is going to be 4 inches. So from this line that I drew, I measured over 4 inches. This will be the top portion of my ghost. This will be the front. This will be a side. The back portion is going to be the same as the front. It's going to be 9 inches wide. We're going to need another side. This will be 4 inches as well. So now we're going to take our razor and our straight edge. We're going to start with this first guideline, and I'm just going to hold it up as close to that guideline, and I'm going to score right into my foam board. I'm not going to go all the way through. I'm just going to kind of go through that first layer. I'm going to score this top. All right, now this piece right here, we can cut right through, because this piece is going to be removed. I'm going to try to do this by just folding. So that's why I'm doing kind of more of a scoring technique. So I'm going to go ahead and score the second guideline. This top piece right here, you can press hard on this one because we're going to take this piece right out. All right, this last piece, remember, you can go all the way through on this one. We're getting rid of it. And flip it over. Yep, this one looks like it's gonna... This top piece, we want to measure to be 4 inches also. And we have our side. We'll be able to bend it. We have our back and our other side. So we should have a box that looks very similar to this when we're done. We have our hot glue all heated up. What we're going to do is we're going to just put a little strip of glue along the edge here, just to kind of hold our box together. Piece, and hold it right down into the glue. I'm just gonna put a little bit of glue, probably just on the corners, just to kind of hold that top down. That is the base right there for one of our ghosts. We're gonna try to make this white look like, kind of like rustic wooden boards. So I want them to be evenly spaced. So I'm gonna again take my ruler and my pencil, and it's 9 inches wide. So I'm actually gonna divide it by 3 and make a mark at the 3-inch mark and at the 6-inch mark, top and bottom. On the sides is only 4, so I'm gonna just split the sides in half, and I'll make a mark at 2 inches. And I'm gonna go ahead and just make a guide mark with a pencil. I have all of my board pieces marked out. As you can see, they go all the way around. Now we're gonna take the darkest brown of our furniture scratch markers here, and we are gonna go over these lines. And I'm also gonna take the marker and go over the edges. Have all of my dark brown lines filled in. I'm gonna take the lighter of my furniture marker and I'm gonna go in and kind of make these boards look a little distressed. Now how I'm doing that is on the edges here, I'm just gonna kind of make some little marks, just like that, just to kind of give it more of a distressed look. What looks like little white wooden boards all nailed together in this little box shape. So I kind of just drew like a spooky shape. I'm only gonna do one eye because I'm gonna do an eye patch on the other eye. And very carefully, I'm gonna go ahead and cut out that outline. Okay, so we have our spooky face all cut out on the front here. Go back in with my brown marker that I had, my brown furniture touch-up, and I'm gonna kind of trace around the edges here to kind of look like distressed wood. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually start working on the center eye piece. Take a scrap piece of this foam board that we cut out, and I'm gonna just draw a small circle. I want the circle to be smaller than the circle that we cut out on our ghost here. All I've done is gone ahead and painted my little cutout styrofoam circle that I made with some yellow paint, and we're just gonna let that dry. We're gonna use our one roll of our burlap ribbon. We're gonna start on the top, and we're going to just put enough burlap to cover the top. Cut it so that it's just the length. And we're gonna take some of our clear tacky gel. I'm just gonna go around the edges with it. Just like that. Down the center. Take that burlap ribbon, and we're just gonna press it into place. We're gonna start on the back of our little ghost guy here. And I'm actually going to use just a couple of dots of hot glue to get this started. I'm going to put our ribbon, burlap ribbon, down into that hot glue to kind of hold it in place right at the top. I'm going to put a couple dots of the hot glue along these like seams. Wrap this ribbon all the way around. Do a couple dots on the edge here. So now I am working on the little skull and crossbone on his little bandana that he's got going on across his head up here. What I went ahead and did was I just sketched out with a black marker the outline of like a skull and crossbone. And I have another one of my little cups here, and I put some of that acrylic black paint from the Dollar Tree in here, and I've got a small little paintbrush. We're gonna just start filling in this outline that I drew of this skull and crossbones. So I have my little skull and crossbone painted on the front of his little bandana here. And now we're gonna work on, while we have the black paint out, we're gonna work on his eye patch. I'm gonna just take a marker and kind of trace out where I want this eye patch to go. And again, take my black paint and kind of just fill in that area that I traced. I finished painting my eye patch and I kind of wrapped it all the way around the back. So while we still have our black paint out, we're going to paint a little black pupil just on the center of this yellow eyeball. All right, so while we're waiting for that to dry, what we're gonna do next is we are gonna take one of the little scrap pieces of foam that we had cut off from earlier. And we're gonna make a little stand with this. I am gonna measure in 2 inches. And I'm gonna make a little score mark at 2 inches from one side, and I'm gonna measure in 2 inches from the other side. All right, so I scored both sides, and we're just gonna pop them down because we're gonna make like a little shelf for these little battery operated tea lights to sit on inside our little guy here. Got my glue on my little shelf here. I'm gonna put my little shelf sitting upright just like that. I'm gonna place it as straight as I can. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can see it in there. There's just a little shelf. And I've got my 2 little tea lights. I wanted to use 2 tea lights so that it was bright enough. So I can now sit these little tea lights right on that little shelf, and it should illuminate this little guy pretty good here. I'm actually just gonna put a little bit of hot glue right on the top corner of this eyeball. And we're gonna put it right on the inside and kind of just glue it into place. We can take our brown marker again and just kind of, just like we did the rest, just kind of outline that eye. Here is the first one. We're not completely done, but we're gonna set this aside for now, and we're gonna work on our mummy. So just like with the other box, I want to make this black box look like it's dark boards. So by doing that, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to measure out, it's 9 inches wide, so I'm going to measure out every 3 inches because I want them to be evenly spaced. All right, so I have the front and back guidelines all done, and the sides I'm only going to do 2 inches. I was at the dollar store and I saw these correction pens. They're the white correction, like whiteout correction pen, and I thought, you know what, this would probably work really good. So we're going to try this out and see. So right over these guide marks, make sure before you use it, I kind of just started it out on the back just to kind of get it going. And then we're going to use this little guideline and this white. Yeah, this is going to work perfect. All right, so we got all of our white marks done, and the nice thing about using these correction pens is that they dry really quick, so it's much easier than waiting for white paint to dry. What we're gonna do is I found, I was looking for something, a circular shape, and I found this cover to a Yankee Candle candle, and it's about the perfect size for 2 eyes. I want these circles to be, unlike the other one where it didn't really matter, I want these ones to be pretty symmetrical. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just line up my circle close to the center of my box here, but I'm gonna just, there are my 2 eyes. I don't know if you can see those. There they are right there. To kind of freehand a mouth. And I'm actually gonna do kind of just a simple mouth with a little tooth. One little tooth sticking out. I'm gonna take my little knife here and I'm gonna start cutting out those shapes. Okay, so there's our little face we have going on with this guy right here. What I did was I took another scrap piece of the foam board and I traced two smaller circles. I don't know if you can see them on there. I traced two smaller circles and we're gonna go ahead and cut those out. I'm gonna take my whiteout pen and I'm just gonna kind of paint in with the whiteout pen this little white tooth sticking out on the front of my little guy here. I'm letting my hot glue gun heat up and we're gonna start wrapping this mummy with our little burlap ribbon. But before we do that, I'm gonna take another scrap piece of the foam board to make the little shelf for the tea light candles on the inside. First thing I'm gonna do is I am going to cut two pieces to cover the top, kind of just laying out this ribbon to find out how I want to have it laid out and wrapped around him. Now I want some of these kind of like faux boards to show through on the background, but I want kind of like this crisscross effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of glue it down as I go. I'm gonna do another one just like that, going in the opposite direction. We're gonna do one more wrapping, like kind of right across the middle. All right, so I cut another piece just the length of the top here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this right across the top and then fold it over. I still want some of those faux boards peeking out like right in here. We're gonna do this same kind of wrapped look, crisscrossed, right around the center, kind of covering up a little bit of the mouth. All right, I wrapped a couple around the center here, and now we're gonna do one kind of going under the mouth to finish it off. I'm gonna kind of go at a diagonal like this, so you just kind of see the mouth and the tooth in the background. Start to trim off the piece that we're not gonna need at the bottom. We've got all of the mummy's wrap on. I think he looks pretty good. Our little yellow eyes are dry. I'm gonna take my Sharpie and I'm just gonna draw two little black pupils, and we'll take a little hot glue, and we'll, just like we did with the other, we're gonna kind of glue these underneath to the inside of the little eye openings. Just put a little hot glue on there, and we're gonna just glue it. Okay, so I have both my little guys done here. I'm actually gonna be using mine outside on my front porch. So what I'm gonna do is, just to give them a little extra protection from the weather, I am going to give them a good coat of Modpodge. I just have the clear drying Modpodge. I've got a little foam brush. I'm just gonna go over all of the surface with a coat of Modpodge. Now this will dry clear, but it will create kind of like a nice seal. So that way if it's outside, they're not gonna get ruined being outside. I wouldn't keep them out in the rain per se, but if it's in a covered area, I think they're gonna actually be okay. And I'm also gonna go right over Well, here they are all finished, and I have the little tea lights going inside right now just so you can see what they look like. They are so cute. And I did do that final coat of Modpodge all over both of them, and it's definitely gonna help with these being outside. You can definitely feel that it's got a nice coat on them, kind of waterproof them a little bit, at least, you know, keep away the mold. So I hope you guys enjoyed this DIY. I know I did. These were a lot of fun to make, and I think these are gonna look so cute out on my front porch, decorated for Halloween. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a big thumbs up. We will see you again real soon. Take care.